When you think of the end times, you probably picture people suddenly vanishing. But what if that's only one version of the story? We're about to break down 4 timelines for the rapture, and some will challenge everything you've been told. The idea of the rapture, where believers are caught up to meet Jesus, comes from 1 Thessalonians, but the timing is one of Christianity's biggest debates. We're going to break down the 4 major interpretations. Stick with us, because the last one is a total game changer. First, the pre-tribulation view, which is the one you see in movies. The idea is simple. Before a 7-year period of suffering called the tribulation begins, all believers are secretly and instantly pulled from the earth. They meet Christ in the air, completely bypassing the divine wrath below. Proponents argue this is the ultimate great escape, where Christ comes for his church, which is separate from the second coming 7 years later. But what if believers must endure some hardship? The mid-tribulation view argues the rapture happens at the halfway point of the 7-year tribulation. Believers would live through the first 3.5 years, but would be taken to heaven just before God unleashes his most intense judgments. In this timeline, the church is tested, but ultimately delivered from the worst of it. Now, what if there's no escape at all? The post-tribulation view argues that Christians will endure the entire 7-year period of suffering. There's no early exit. In this interpretation, the rapture and the second coming are the exact same event. As Jesus returns, believers who are alive are caught up to meet him and immediately come back down with him. This timeline emphasizes perseverance, not escape. And now for the timeline that asks, what if the apocalypse is already in our past? This is the preterist view. It argues that most end times prophecies were fulfilled in the 1st century with the destruction of the Jerusalem temple in AD 70. A related idealist view sees the book of Revelation not as a literal roadmap, but as a timeless symbolic story about the ongoing war between good and evil. So, from a secret escape before the storm to enduring the storm, to the idea that the storm already passed 2,000 years ago, it's clear there's no single agreed-upon map for the end. These are radically different ways of viewing God's plan. Theologians have debated these views for centuries. Which timeline do you find most compelling, and why? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoy these deep dives, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell.